Hello everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today for the Untangle Tech Talk series. Today we'll be showcasing our new cloud-based centralized management product, Untangle Command Center. Untangle Command Center enables IT administrators to quickly and simply manage their Untangle NG Firewall deployments from any browser without the costly purchase and maintenance headache of an on-premise solution. My name is Shannon Miles, and I'm part of the marketing team here, and I'll be your host today. I also have with us John Coffin, our Director of QA, who will be demonstrating this new product, Command Center, as well as answering any questions that you guys have along the way. Just a few housekeeping rules before we get started. If you have any audio issues, please be sure that you are using the correct audio preference. On the right-hand side, you will either need to select the phone and dial in and use the access code provided, or you can also use your computer audio. Just a reminder, this webinar is being recorded, so you will have the option to rewatch or revisit or share this webinar with anyone that you wish. And as always, we'll be answering questions throughout the presentation. We have a bunch of our team members on hand to help answer any questions, so please just submit those questions through the Q&A box on the right-hand side. And as always, if we don't get to your question or if you have a very specific question, you can send your question to sales@untangle.com or support@untangle.com. And with that, I will pass it over to John.
Thanks, Shannon. Thanks, everyone, for joining us. We're really excited about our new Command Center, which allows centralized management of multiple untangles that you have out there. So let's start into it. So what is Command Center? It's a cloud-based centralized management for all your Untangle firewalls. You're able to bring those in to your account and manage those directly. You can manage the licensing, do software updates, verify backups of them. You can also get an aggregate of all threats and alerts across all the across all the firewalls, all in one view. So with that, let's take a look at it, because there's nothing like demonstrating the power of it. Again, you just go to our website, go ahead and sign in with your account. Let's see what's going on here. Let's see here. Here we go. So I'll just log in with my account. And probably everyone's familiar with this. This is where you'll manage any kind of subscriptions, view your servers. If you have a Command Center, you'll notice that there's a new button that has that takes you to that feature. So if I click on that, I'll go ahead and get into Command Center, where I'll view all my Untangle boxes that are currently managed. So over here, right, this is kind of my aggregate display of all my untangles. So if you have untangles spread out, across the globe, you'll see dot representations for each one of them at their location. Unfortunately, on this demo one, they're all centralized in one place. There's 3 appliances. I can tell how many active hosts, and this is active hosts combined with all of them. So I have 3 active hosts, which means I have 1 host behind each appliance. I can see how many threats have been currently blocked, and I can see the last place I've logged in from. That's my IP address. So right here we'll see some of the alerts. We can see when the appliances have contacted Command Center. I also can see when anyone's logged into them, where it's happened from, what IP address, when it was logged in. And then I can also see any kind of block threats. Here's an example of a virus blocker blocking one of one of the viruses that were sent across the Untangle, and I can see that directly. So it kind of gives you an overall view of everything that's going on. It's a great place to start out. A lot of times I leave this window open just to see what's going on with all my boxes. To get a more specific view, I can go ahead and click on my appliances, and I get a view of all my appliances that I have with my account. Each one will be added as you register that box to your account. I can go ahead and do a couple things. I can look at the kind of dashboard on each appliance individually. I can see what's going on, how many hosts are on there, what the CPU load is like, am I running out of disk space for my reports. Again, it'll separate the alerts now by this individual box. I can see the threat. This particular threat that I saw on the original page now shows me it's on this particular box. And then, I can cycle through those, and the screen will refresh for each one. One of the unique features of this is that you can actually log in directly to that box without looking up the IP address of it or, getting a separate window. So I'll just click on that. Oh, I got to allow pop-ups. And we'll go ahead and connect over it. So now I am directly connected as if I were to remotely connect, and this does not require for you to have the WAN, HTTP WAN feature turned on. We actually connect through it through an SSH channel that you enable by connecting to the cloud. So again, I've logged directly into that box, and now I can make any changes I would normally do if I was connected or on the console of the box. I can make changes to my web filter, look at individual reports, so forth. Really straightforward, direct connection to that box. As simple as opening a new tab. Again, I can just switch to my next box and click remote access. And once again, I can directly manage that box. Like if I was logged in, I don't have to make any special settings on the box. I automatically connect, and I'm able to make any changes I want. Some of the other great features of this that, especially for people who are managing, 5 or 10 of these boxes at a time, is upgrades are always kind of an issue. Do I set it for automatic upgrades? And then, sometimes customers don't like that because they don't want any interruptions, or they want to set a certain time so they can watch it. Again, this is kind of nice because now I can select which boxes upgrade, and then I can just simply click the upgrade button and upgrade all those at once. So you can add and delete ones. Let's say you replace one, and it'll say offline. It'll be in red, showing offline. I can go ahead and delete that from my list, and that way it's not in my configuration anymore. Some of the other things that you can do, you can look at your licenses, see when they expire on individual boxes, all in one view. You can take a look at the expirations, again, the threats. You can also take a look at your backups. Make sure the backups are happening correctly. And I can also save, actually retrieve those backups by clicking on the link. And then I can save those locally if I wish to. That's kind of useful if I want to set up a second box and make that over. We'll be constantly rolling out new features on this because it's a web application. So one of the features right now in demo is you're able to push out policies across multiple boxes. In this case, let's say I want to create an alert policy that I want to be alerted of some particular thing. I can create the policy, and I say I want to create it on this box, and I'll go ahead and create an alert policy. Later on, we'll be able to edit those policies. And let's say I want to go ahead and push this particular policy out to multiple boxes. I'll go ahead and say I want to set this policy across multiple boxes. I can go ahead and select all my boxes, and I will push the update to those appliances. Again, this is kind of a beta feature, so we'll be working on this and rolling this out to everyone shortly. And it's going to push out those alerts to all my boxes, so I don't have to actually log into each box and make that change. Again, if you have a custom box, it'll show up as just a generic icon. But if you do have an Untangle device, it will actually show the picture of that particular device, including the links coming out shortly. Couple other things you can do is just really keep track of any kind of resources that you're having problems with, any kind of CPU load. Very quickly switch between boxes. You don't have to log into each one. It just makes a unifying experience. Shannon, do we have any kind of questions that are coming up?
Yeah, we had a couple questions around pricing and what's included, and we answered some on the Q&A section, but I figured you could probably go over and over it a little more in terms of how many sites are included and our pricing availability.
Sure. We do have that on the slide. So some of the things that you have to have is that the appliances must have the complete package. That's part of, we included basically a connector to the command center to allow you to connect. You need to have that complete package. 5 appliances are automatically, you can manage 5 boxes for free. Beyond that, there's a pricing scale that you can contact sales, and we can give you that sliding scale. Some of the other things you can, let's see, make sure I carried all that. Yeah, one of the biggest things is the geographical, the dashboard, being able to see boxes, take a look where those boxes are, and see the IP addresses in case you're not sure where they are. If you're looking at one of your licenses, appliance licenses, and you see it's about to expire, you can actually click on it and then update and purchase that if you don't have it on automatic renewals. Just a whole list of features. Again, we're going to be rolling out more and more of these features as we roll along. Just policies, just one of the first ones, and you're going to, we'll probably do updates to this webinar as more and more features are rolled out. Let's go back to the slides real quick. So the appliance and host count. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, we just had a couple more questions come in terms of what Command Center will work with in terms of the Linksys router and virtual machines, so figured you could go over that quickly.
Sure. Really, you know, that's the great thing about Untangle is that you can install it just about any kind of hardware, and it works exactly the same. If you have a Linksys router with the complete package, or you know the home package, which is a version of the complete, you're able to control that also. It will work identical to this. To it, it's just another Untangle device out there. Virtual machines, exactly the same. You just need to have a complete package on that, it'll show up as a custom appliance, and you're able to make changes to it the same way you can if it's one of our appliances. Of course, Linksys, it's best not to install intrusion prevention and spam blockage just because there's not enough memory on those Linksys to run those kind of devices. Just to be clear on this, it really doesn't matter the hardware that's running Untangle. What matters is that the license you have, and you'll have the command center control over all these devices. A couple of things. The aggregation of data is just great on the dashboard. I find this the most useful page right here, is that I'm able to keep track of all the boxes and exactly what's going on. I can log into particular boxes that I see threats are coming in and being blocked just to see what's going on. Really useful page there.
Hey John, we just had a question come in saying they can see the command center button and they go there, but it says the device is offline. So can you explain how people need to make the device online in terms of making sure they're on the right version and so on?
Right. So, sorry, I didn't cover that. So, it does require that that you have version 12.2.1 or 12.2. It does have to be on that version. It's the only version, and going forward, all new versions will have the command center connector. So if you're not on the very newest one, you definitely need to upgrade and get on the latest version. The second part of this, I'll just use one of the boxes as a demonstration. So again, make sure the complete license is installed. And if you don't know which license you have, just log into your account and just see what the license is applied to that particular one. The other part is that you need to have the cloud connector turned on. So if we go over here to support, we really need to make sure that you have this Connect to Untangle Cloud turned on. This is part of the command center, and this is how we do the link to the box. This link is a SSH key enabled connection that's specific for your particular box. So there's no cross-contamination of that connection. But this connection does have to be on in order to use command center. Some of the other things to look for, definitely it'll show whether it's online or offline here. Couple of things. If for some reason you can't, feel free to open a support ticket, and we'll be glad to take a look at if there's some particular issue you have with that. Again, it's a cloud application, so we'll be constantly rolling out new features for that, like this, the policy, being able to push out policies to all your boxes at once, or a select group of boxes. Any other questions?
I don't believe at this time. I think we've answered pretty much everything that's coming in. A lot of the same questions.
Okay. So again, just going over the licensing, Command Center for the first 5 boxes is free. That's usually most of the people that are using that. They do have to have the complete package. That includes the home package. So if you want to find more about it, to add that to your account, you can click on right here and go to Command Center and purchase that. Most of us are using this quite a bit in-house, so feel free to ask on the forums. We have almost all the developers on the forums. We've answered a ton of questions every day on the forums, so it's a good avenue to get quick response. Also, there's a lot of people that have been using Untangle for years, and they can provide a lot of good feedback for you on that. Again, this webinar is on YouTube, so feel free if you want to continue with that. Thanks a lot, Shannon.
Great, thanks, John. So as I can imagine, there's a lot of questions coming in. We're trying to answer them as they come in. If we don't get to your questions, please contact us at sales@untangle.com or support@untangle.com. If you're wanting to get this feature or just having a little bit of issues trying to figure out how to turn it on. If you need help in just general installation or customization configuration of your Untangle deployment, we do offer professional services if you have a more tricky network deployment situation, so please keep that in mind. If you go to the next slide, please, John.
I'm sorry.
No worries. Let's see. Yes, this webinar is being recorded, and I will share the recording link to you within 24 hours after this webinar has ended. If you have any other need, we have a good amount of resources. As John mentioned, we have the forums, which we have people on all the time, as well as the wiki, which has our technical documentation. And as John mentioned, this is we're rolling out features, pretty common with this new service. So we'll be doing another Tech Talks in a couple months once we have a little bit more features to show, just to keep you guys all appraised with what new features we have with Command Center. We do have a couple upcoming webinars, Untangle 101, which is next week, for Intro to NG Firewall. So if you're not familiar with Untangle or you know someone that's looking at Untangle, this is a perfect webinar for you. And then we have another Tech Talks in April for Web Filter and Web Monitor. Web Monitor is a new app that we released for version 12.2. So if you want to get some more information about that and how these two apps work, that's the webinar for you. I think that's about it, John. Thanks so much for doing the great demo, and I hope everyone has a wonderful day.